Hello, everybody. Welcome to another podcast of Alice Mike's podcast. It's another Music Friday for June the 18th. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this podcast or this edition of Music Friday. Thank you so much for listening from wherever you're listening from East Coast, West Coast, North, South, and everywhere in between. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, we have some new music, and actually, not there is more than new music. Finally, what I consider the best recording of banda sinaloense ever. And I'm up for debating, or not even debating. I'm up for to get challenged on. If you can find a better recording, please let me know. Of you can send me the message through Al's Mike's podcast on either Instagram or Facebook. But I'll talk about that later on. But definitely, it's an older recording, and I have been referencing it through all my podcasts. Of it's the best recording, and unfortunately, it's not on Spotify, and it finally got released to Spotify. And if you stay tuned, you'll learn the name of that album and the banda. If you already heard my podcast, I had definitely referenced this album for a long time, and I'm really glad that it was released to Spotify. I'm lucky enough to have it. I have it downloaded onto my computer, and a long time ago from actually having the actual CD. But now that I could share it with everybody, well, actually, not that I could share it, but everybody is able to listen to this great album. I'm glad and I'm excited. So excited to people could, when I could reference it and be like, hey, listen to this album. It's there on Spotify. Not that, well, hopefully you get lucky enough. You could probably pick up the CD there's time. Let me plug in my phone and, I'll show you so you can listen to it. But now anybody can listen to it, and it's great. The music is made to be shared. All right. So before I talked about that, again, there's new music came out on Friday. I just want to thank everybody for listening, and all this music is gets added to Alice Mike's playlist on Spotify. So you go on Spotify, Alice Mike's playlist, and all the music is right there that I recommend. You guys could listen to it, enjoy it. You guys do whatever you guys want. So, so yeah, this it's Father's Day weekend, so happy Father's Day to everybody's listening. All the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Hopefully, you get more than just socks. Hopefully, you don't have to barbecue your own dinner. Uh, but either way, happy Father's Day. All the fathers out there. Hopefully you have a good one, and spend quality time with whoever, with loved ones. And so yeah, so let's go on with the recommendation. So the first one is the first CD. Actually, it's a collaboration between it sounds like it's an older CD. It's a live CD. Es el Potro Sinaloa y los Canelos de Durango. The album's called En Vivo desde Las Tapias. It really sounds like they're just in a party and somebody just hit record. Doesn't sound too bad, but I like El Potro and I like Los Canelos de Durango. So, it's a great album just to just put on there and just let it play. A lot of great music. It has from Los Tres Gallos, El Abecedario, Alfredo Beltrán, Lágrimas de Sangre. There's this popurrí, Dos Celulares, El Rey de Sinaloa, Corrido de Javier Torres. So it's a live album. It's a collaboration between El Potro Sinaloa and Los Canelos de Durango. Can't go wrong with them. Always a fun time when you put that music on. Yeah, it's just go ahead and enjoy. You know, it's the album's called En Vivo, Desde las Tapias. Y es el Potro de Sinaloa y los Canelos de Durango. All right. We got on, I believe this is a new release. It's called El Genio. It's a corrido. It's sing by Los Dos Primos with Banda Corona del Rey featuring Michelle Cruz. So there's two artists in la banda, and it's called El Genio. Good little corrido. Yeah, definitely recommend you hearing it. It's called El Genio. All right, then we have a single that came out by El Mimoso, Luis Antonio Lopez, y Luis Ángel el Flaco. Used to be in Los Recoditos. They sing Cruz de Madera. And actually, little fun fact, Recodo almost had that pairing of singers, El Mimoso y El Flaco. The story is that cuando salió, when Carlos Arabia got out of el Recodo, was getting out, they were looking for a new singer to sing with El Mimoso. And Luis Sanchez El Flaco was actually up to replace him. But instead of him, it was this guy named, I believe is Alex Ojeda. Is the one that got his place. And then instead of being a Recodo, he was sent to Los Recoditos. So just imagine if it would have been another place. I mean, instead of the other guy being a Recodo, it would have been El Flaco en El Recodo. Would have been interesting. But yeah, so they was it I believe 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, they came out with the album together. But I guess they have more music, so now they're just releasing singles of, I guess, las obras de the album or so. Yeah, but yeah, Cruz de Madera. It's a cover, of course. El Mimoso, Luis Antonio Lopez with Luis Ángel El Flaco. All right, we're gonna go to Conjunto Norteño. It's a single, La Voces de Culiacán. I like the style they play. They came out with an En Vivo single, another cover. You know, it's a classic. Definitely a classic of Miguel y Miguel. De Sonora y sus ojos negros. I even like hearing los Sonora y sus ojos negros con un tri. I think it sounds really, really good. I mean, it's a really nice song. So yeah, so Sonora y sus ojos negros, la voces de Culiacán. Check out their rest of the stuff they got going on. They got some good albums, and y tocan bien los muchachos. All right, then we have remember we had this an artist, guy named Chalo Rosas. He nomás tiene puros albums en vivo. But guy sounds pretty good. I mean, he's just singing just popular covers or so. Last week I know I recommended some songs of him. So he released another album en vivo. Dice en vivo desde fiesta privada. But the one I recommend is el Palo Verde, el Salsa y la Palma y la Piedra. So 3 known covers. But the guy sings pretty good. Banda, I don't want to say the banda's perfect, but it gives it this realism that when you're listening to it, it's like almost like the banda will be in front of you. It's not perfect. It's some instruments are in volumes a little higher than some other ones, and it's live. You could definitely know that this is live, and it wasn't really made for a professional recording or so. It's more like como se aprovecharon del momento, and they're like, oh well, we're recording y como salga. And it's honestly, hey, that's how a Grupo Firme got popular. When what their was it their hit songs, the first hit songs that they were known for. They just played how it was, and then released it, and look where they're at now. So this guy named Chalo Rosas sings pretty good, muchacho de Sonora. So he has that. Check out his stuff. But the album I'm recommending is called En Vivo desde Fiesta Privada. So check it out. Then this is es conjunto norteño. It's called Grupo J4 or Grupo J4. Probably Grupo J4. But yeah, they have an album called En Vivo desde Compton. So I guess it's a thing. Now be En Vivo desde Compton, huh? The conjunto sounds really good. I mean, it's a of course En Vivo, it's a live album. But the instruments and especially the drum set sound really good. And then there's the three songs I recommend from the album is called Prohibida, El Alegre de Tecolotes, and Los Números. There's more songs in there. Está variado el album. There's definitely different types of music. Pero that's the three that I recommend. Grupo J4 en Vivo desde Compton. Conjunto sounds good. So go and check it out. So for all the new recordings, that's what I recommend. Again, all this music is going to be on Alice Mike's playlist on Spotify. It's going to be shared there, and you could listen to all the new music from there. Now, if you stick around from listening from the beginning, what I told you is my favorite album of Banda Sinaloense was released or made available on Spotify, which I am so glad it is. I was even thinking of doing a whole episode just talking about this album, but there wasn't enough new music to for this Music Friday that was recommending. I mean, there's always a lot of music, but this is music I recommend. I want people to listen to it, and I want to share about it, talk about it. But this album, I'm gonna backtrack to I've said the story. My brother or el Comparacio, shout out to el Comparacio, picked it up in this album in a this CD in a discoteca here in Santa Maria, Central Coast of aquí in California, and it was banda sinaloense los nuevos a Santa Rosa, and I believe the name of the album it's called like Lo Tradicional de Nuestra Tierra, right? And he played for a little bit, and he just kind of like, probably like tossed it to the side. And around that time, it's when I started to learn how to play instruments. Specifically, I was in band in high school. Not in high school. I was like I said in elementary school. So I started playing saxophone, and and anybody has played band or seen band, you play these. Either when you're beginning, you play this orchestral, type of little Beethoven or this definitely you're not playing any popular songs. You're playing any popular songs. It's like Mary Had a Little Lamp and freaking and maybe some Christmas music. That's the most popular stuff that you might get to, right? But it's fun. But a veces uno quiere tocar, cosas that you listen to as well. But then this album has these sones, o esas tocaditas that you might call them son como danzones or what te digo, they're not it's hard to describe because you can't say no, pues una corridita or son no son zapateados, no son cumbias. A lot of people cuando digo son, no es un son, they think, oh no, pues es un zapateado. So like, no, no, it's it's not a waltz tampoco. So but you listen to these songs and you're like, wow, like I was able to connect my two worlds that I was trying to get into. I know I love banda, but then these songs, it's like they're I won't say totalmente orchestral, but there's a similarity to it. And I'm playing these type of music over here, and I'm like, oh, banda could sound that way. That as much as, hey, I love dancing to banda and stuff like that, but you put something where you can actually put banda and just like sit back and relax and listen to it. I mean, it was wide opening, at least for me, that knowing that banda could sound that good. Not even that good, but they could play those type of music. So I that CD, man, I used to play it over and over again because it was my bridge between what I'm learning and what I would. It was like, okay, well, there is not a future, but I could connect whatever stuff I'm learning from band, and knowing that the more I learn, I could possibly play something like this in the future, or I just grew more of an appreciation for it. You might call it. So you already know what banda it is. So actually, if you look for it on Spotify, again, all this music's gonna be on Al's Mike's playlist on Spotify. But if you want to look for it on Spotify, it's called Banda Sinaloense Los Nuevos Santa Rosa de Ernesto Soto. It's a long title, but that's how they put it. Banda Sinaloense Los Nuevos Santa Rosa de Ernesto Soto. The album's called Reconciliación. But I remember the original title was like Música de Nuestra Tierra, something like that. But whatever. They changed it. That's fine. It still has the same album. The thing is, this album for me, again, if anybody out there, after hearing this album and they say, I know a better recording of banda, please let me know. But for me, I have listened to a lot of banda, a lot of recordings of banda. I mean, I've listened to, from Banda MM, to I know they Banda MM had improved their recordings from when you hear from the beginning to their latest from Recodo, Limón, Arrolladora, the big names. I definitely know Los Tierra Blanca came out with some really good recordings, especially where the album where they play Ophelia, the song named Ophelia. Awesome recording of that. You know, um, I wish Los Porteños, the recording was a little better when they have the tubista playing La Pasadita y El Frijolito. It sounds really good. Yes, it sounds good, but it could have been better. Especially the tuba player there, how he plays the La Pasadita and El Frijolito, awesome. So again, and there's all these, la renovación, de Culiacán. They recorded some quite a bit of live albums, de puras tocaditas, and it sounds great, and it's live, and está alegre, sounds good. And the interesting is they've got that renovación gotten famous because of the way they play, las tocaditas, and that's great. I mean, now they're doing more singing and getting more to the radio popular. Está visto. I mean, that's at the end, the way to get out there and be more famous is they gotta start singing. But never forget how you got, first started getting famous. Don't forget your roots. But all right, so don't let's not go down that trail too much. But I'm just saying, recording wise, my opinion is this CD that I'm talking about, right? The De Los No Santa Rosa is the best. It's just simply the best. You hear every instrument. Every instrument sounds awesome. Please do not listen to this album like on a cell phone, like on the speaker. So, like, really, put it on a speaker, put it in a car, whatever your best speakers, and just listen to it. It's amazing. It really is. The way the trombones here, the trumpets don't. The trumpets like you actually hear like trumpets. It's not like that, like like a combination of like a trumpet and a clarinet, or like it sounds like a synthesized trumpet. Like it sounds awesome. The clarinets, you actually can hear the clarinets, not only when they're doing the solo, but in la parte de la canción, the trumpets and the clarinets are playing the same melody, which is a lot apart. You actually hear the clarinet. I was complaining about Recodo's the last week sacaron un CD de puros tocaditas, de puros sones, and it's just like when the clarinet and the trumpet are playing together, it just fuses together, and you hear this awful electronic. It almost sounds like trumpet. It sounds electronic. It sounds awful. And that's coming from El Recodo. Like nobody was into that and be like, hey guys, like that didn't sound right. That doesn't sound good. You know. But this album here just sounds amazing. The tuba sounds perfect. It's not overblown. It's not. It has the perfect lows. Um, and this album has some great songs. Está variado. If you wanna, so if you wanna hear something more traditional, I'll say more like no como una rancherita, uno más like you could dance to, and está la canción El Barrilito. It's even played in mariachi, and it's actually it's a polka in accordion. I think that's the where original come from. It's a polka en accordion, El Barrilito. Um, That's called another song like that's San Diego. Man, that's que son, pero it's like está bailable. A lot of bandas don't play it, but name of it is called this San Diego. And they even play una de tocaditas. They don't sing it, of course. De Juan Gabriel, me gustas mucho. Of course, made famous by Juan Gabriel, of course, and también cantado por Rocío Dulca. But they play and it sounds awesome. Me gustas mucho. And then the other kind of song that you might know is called Las Calabazas. Um, Great song. I know definitely Joel Elizalde sings it. I know it's definitely sung by other artists, but Las Calabazas. And then from there, music gets, I wouldn't say as danceable. I mean, it's not definitely not. No, I mean, you could try to dance to it, but there's more like that's when you start getting more into the orchestral, more deep into this album. I remember I was funny story, or not funny story, but kind of interesting. When uno que es de, como digo, my family's from Sinaloa, and so we used, I'm not saying we used to, but well, we grew up listening to banda sinaloense. So that's the bar. That's the bar se puso. And when we listen to banda, anybody that, that understand, there's a certain bar que se pone en la música que uno escucha. So my bar is quite high when I listen to banda because I expect, great banda. Once you go, once you go to Sinaloa and you hear bandas over there, and then you come back to the States and you don't hear the same thing, you te quedas man, I wish I could play that way, and so, you know, este, I I introduced banda sinaloense to my girlfriend, and she was not used to banda sinaloense. She used to listen to banda, but more like radio banda, regular banda, but not like tocaditas and stuff like that. And so I introduced it, to like like I remember that's the same time La Renovación came out with the live albums, with La Cuichi, La Merejilda, Los Amores de Julia, sones así, sones bonitos, ¿verdad? And she liked it. I was playing it too, but she definitely liked it, and was liking, that there was more to banda than what it's on the radio, and it's awesome, that you introduce somebody, more, como te digo, more like in depth of music. You widen their range in music, and their taste, and it's awesome to share that. Definitely share music with loved ones and people. But then I was like, I had this CD like kind of under wraps. Like, I need her to appreciate banda sinaloense tradicional this before I introduce this album. I remember when I told her, look, so I'm gonna have you listen to this album, or we're gonna listen to it, but this is like advanced level banda sinaloense. It's a greater appreciation. It's como, you take like in college, or you take this class, and or and it's in and you pass it, and now you could go up to the next class. So, and it's because it's como te dijo, and, and then you might listen to some of these songs and be like, oh, this sounds kind of weird, or it sounds like a marcha, like a march or something like that. But they're not marches. I mean, they could be, but you gotta see it more. It's more symphonic, um, and it's you have to really like sit down and appreciate this music. Like one of them is, you know, I love the song called Norma, la de Guadalajara. It's an awesome, awesome song. It's um, I want to say it's a ballad, una balada or bolero. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Maybe it's a bolero, but it isn't. But man, this it's just, and then you hear the tuba how low it goes in some portions of it, and if you have the right speakers and you have the right setup, it sounds amazing. And then we go to then like another song called Chayo La Vieja, and it's a slow song. It's a slow song, but man, it's just you really just gotta listen to it. Really, you just gotta listen to it. Another song is Reconciliación. Um, Another one is Mis Flores Negras. I've heard that song, unfortunately, in burials. So if if it's familiar to you, if you heard it before and it brings up some emotions, at least I'm letting you guys know beforehand. I've heard that, um, but again, it's a song they should listen to. The recording, how it's played, sounds really good. Another one is called Corazón en la Mano. Now this song starts really off really slow, like it does. Like you like sometimes I even skip it. Me, the who appreciates music, or at least I think I appreciate music, and sometimes like, oh come on, get it going, get it going. But it's worth it. 2 minutes in, it's gonna pick up. Not too much, but it's gonna pick up. And it sounds really good. So it's definitely you definitely have take your time into listening to the song and just like let it whine, let it whine, let it, and then there you go. It's just so corazón en la mano. Just letting everybody know. Be patient with it. Let it 2 minutes in. After the 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 50 seconds, and then it just keeps going. It gets going. Um, so yeah, and then I don't know if you guys have heard the song called España Cañí. I know Recodo has played it. Uh, it's sounds like a torero song, but the trombones on this one, love it. I love how it plays, the how it goes, the way they play it, the recording. I'm just again the recording, people. Listen to the recording. Como digo, for me, it's the best album of Banda Sinaloense recording wise. Of course, the song list is, it's not a traditional like tocaditas. Like you expect like el Sinaloense, arriba Pichátaro, el Palo Verde, um, La Pasadita. You kind of expect, okay, it's just, the traditional tocaditas, Amores de Julia, La Cuichi, pero no, So, then there's alright, so I'm gonna go to there's another song called Tu Voz al Cielo. Again, a slow song, but take your time. And then there's another one called De Torreón a Lerdo. And I believe I don't think it's a marcha, but it's like it's it's like it's like a patriotic kind of a song. Because it has parte del himno mexicano in there. Like it's just a little like it's just a little part. But again, I can't express, I not express, but I can't tell you guys enough of like just listen to it. Take your time, listen to it. Give it a chance. I know, I know you're not used to hearing banda this way sometimes, but just listen to it. I mean, como digo, if the other songs are just a little too off, at least you're El Barrilito, San Diego, Me Gustas Mucho, Las Calabazas. Listen to those songs. Those they're more traditional. They're gonna sound great. But try Norma la de Guadalajara. Just try it. Chayo la Vieja, Mis Flores Negras, España Cañí. Give those a shot as well. And if you're willing to listen to that, then listen to the other ones as well. Just listen to the whole album. But really, like, take your time. You're gonna have like a 15-minute commute, a 20-minute commute, an hour commute, something that's gonna take longer. Not just turn on your car and then you go to the grocery store and then no, like if you're gonna have a little bit of commute, you got some time, listen to some music, listen to this album. I can't stress enough how I recommend you really to listen to this album and grow that taste of demanding better recordings of banda, again, of conjuntos, anything that we listen to. I believe you know us as a consumer, we have the biggest power of showing the artist what we want to listen to. We're the one that sets the bar of how low or how high, that what we expect. I wish I had the CD cover, the original CD cover of this album. So because it used to say where it was recorded, who recorded, who's a producer, just to know who produced this album. Where was this recorded? I'm thinking, I know that in Guamuchil, Sinaloa, they had a recording studio there. I know that Luno Santa Rosa son de Guamuchil, but you never know. It could have been Los Mochis, it could have been Culiacan, it could have been Mazatlan. Or you never know. They might have gone out of state. They might have, recorded in El DF, Monterrey, or somewhere else. But again, listen to this album. It's so worth it. You know, I listen to it all the time. Um, you know, I'm not saying okay, not all the time, but I definitely, you know, but for me, it has to be the right situation. You know, not the right situation, but I gotta have the proper time to enjoy it. But give it a shot, and please let me know what you think about it. I'm curious. You know, like other, you know, if you don't like it, why didn't you like it? Was the music? Did you think it was just a little too weird, or did you have heard this album before? Heard this music before? But yeah, please message me. Send me messages on Instagram or Facebook. House Mike's podcast. I'm really interested in what you guys think about this album. Um, you know, what's your favorite song of it? What's your least favorite song? Just you know, I I just really want people to listen to this. And again, I said, if you guys think there's a better album of the recording of Banda, please let me know. I would love to share with people, with everybody, of these type of recordings. These class A, triple A, like 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 recordings. You know, and so I could keep on talking over and over about this album. I really can, because it's really one. It's my favorite album of Banda Sinaloense Tocadas. It really is, and it means a lot to me too. You know, I was saying, you know, from being in band and you know, I mean, I wish I could play, you know, aquí está las notas para el sinaloense, or, you know, el salsa y la palma. But, you know, you don't, you know, I think the most Mexican thing is playing was like the Mexican hat dance. Then when I got to high school, well, I think the only more Mexican, no, not even Mexican American was Oye Como Va, you know, so, or tequila, you know, you know, and, eh, you know, so, and then I even played tuba when I was in band in high school. You know, I wish I would have had you know, right now you can find notes, you can find stuff, and it's so much easier. But back then, I mean, era todo por oído. Um, so, so for me, because I would play these big instrumental, orchestral songs in band, which were fun to play for me. You know, music it's fun to play once you learn how to play and like that. But then knowing that, you know, I love my Mexican music. I love especially mi música banda sinaloense, and then you find that look they do play kind of instrumental pieces like this is our orchestra in a way, you know, this is our symphonic type of music that you know we all luckily we could dance to and you know have fun and party to, and I mean there's nothing like hearing a live banda. You know, the emotion, the noise, the alegría que sa la alegría o la tristeza o los sentimientos que una banda este te hace sentir. So, but either way, como and I'm saying, you know, this it's not just my favorite album. It's just for me, this album is just reminds me of a lot of good stuff, and it just it you know, como digo, the bridge between my playing in band and then hearing this, you know, this album means a lot to me. And it just it's really awesome that you know it sounds amazing as well. So I'm a I lo voy a dejar. Please listen to it. Take your time listening to it, and I definitely want to hear some feedback from you guys. So you know, what do you guys think about this album? Please let me know. How's my podcast? Instagram or Facebook? Please message me. More than curious to hear about it. Um, and so yeah, so I'm just gonna stop it there. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Really hope you're enjoying these recommendations of music. Este and yeah, thank you so much again. Let you know, Smart Stop Insurance in Santa Maria, California is moving 2 doors south. Same building, but it's moving 2 doors south. Again, I'm not getting paid for this. This is just a friendly reminder. You're welcome, Comparacio. I want to thank for the encouragement. CA Truck Lines, JC Herrera Trucking, Smart Stop Insurance, and Unique Janitorial. Thank you for all the encouragement. All right, everybody, take care. Have a good one. Enjoy the weekend. Remember, it's Father's Day weekend this weekend. Enjoy it. Stay safe. Be safe when you're driving around. Yeah, thank you so much for listening. And remember, don't forget to smile. How many smiles back at you? Couldn't find a mirror smile back. Be smile back at you. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.